What's up guys, today we're going to be going over the Xenophage buff which was announced in this week's TWAB, which will be happening next season. And as you see right here, that buff is going to be a 50% increase to damage in PvE, then a slight increase to ammo per crate in PvP. Then we have this paragraph which kind of explained why they made this change. It said Xenophage unintentionally shipped a little weak. And like I said before, I don't know what unintentionally shipping a weapon weak means. Of course you wouldn't ship it weak on purpose, right? Like, what's that even mean? So it's getting a bump up in raw damage. Machine guns have a higher ammo capacity than other heavy weapons, trading raw DPS for ease of use. Xenophage slides further towards other heavy weapons such as grenade launchers in that aspect, but didn't get enough power back. This will correct that. We'll see about that. And since Bungie is making the comparison for me, that it's going to be more like a grenade launcher, I would not be doing my job correctly if I did not compare it to a grenade launcher. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. First, looking at damage on Greg, it hits 10,215, and it hits that no matter where you're aiming at him, it's explosion hit, so it does not crit at all. So right now, once again, it hits 10,215, then after that 50% change, it will be 15,323, which is once again a pretty good bump up in damage. 50% is a lot. Now looking at the rate of fire of the weapon, just shooting off one magazine, which is going to be 13 shots, see how long that takes, roughly 5.983 seconds, meaning DPS right now is 22,195, but after the 50% increase will be 33,294, which is better, but not quite that good for a power weapon. And it still holds 26 ammo, and that will not change. Right now, that means 265,000 total damage, but after it'll be just under 400,000 total damage output, which is a lot better than it was before, and a little bit more on par with our power weapons. Now looking at Love and Death, which is a 150 RPM grenade launcher with pretty much the god roll, spike, field prep, and full court. Without full court, it hits these numbers right here. Now at max range, with the full effect of full court, it's going to hit these numbers, which are going to be 22,760. Then with the full perk, 26,425. So as you can see, this grenade launcher is doing a lot more damage per shot, even after Xenophage gets that 50% buff. Now DPS over one mag, 1.633 seconds, meaning just a little bit more DPS than the Xenophage at 70,000 without full court, than 81,000 with full court. And to be fair to Xenophage, we're going to shoot off two magazines with this grenade launcher because that's going to be roughly half of its ammo, just like the one mag of Xenophage. So go ahead and do that now and see how that affects the DPS of this weapon. Obviously it's going to go down a lot, taking now 5.316 seconds, meaning the DPS is now 42,000.8 and also just under 50,000 with full court. And this grenade launcher will pretty much maintain those two numbers throughout its entire reserves. Speaking of its total reserves, it holds 17, which means roughly 386 total damage without full court, then with full court 450,000. So to quote Bungie, machine guns have higher ammo capacity than other heavy weapons, trading raw DPS for ease of use, and Xenophage slides further towards other heavy weapons, such as grenade launchers in that aspect. So when they say Xenophage slides further towards other heavy weapons, they should just say it slid the entire way, because it has 26 ammo. What aspect of a machine gun does this still have? The only aspect of a machine gun Xenophage still has is that it has a scope that you can ADS with, then it has no in-air accuracy. That's pretty much it. It doesn't retain any of the ad clear potential of a machine gun or anything like that. So it slid pretty much the entire way to the opposite end of the spectrum to pretty much a grenade launcher. But as we see with the numbers, the DPS still isn't on par with a grenade launcher. Keep in mind, those are legendaries and this is an exotic. And the total damage output is close, but once again, GLs don't have great total damage output for power weapons either. They're mostly DPS monsters. My first review of Xenophage, I thought what needed to be done was more ammo, and like a lot more ammo. That way it would retain a lot more of the aspect of a machine gun for ad clear, but still be really good for that single target damage, which it was already the best option for machine gun for single targets. So with more ammo, it would retain more of the identity of a machine gun while still having kind of that grenade launcher feel to it. And with this buff, they pretty much doubled down with the grenade launcher part, and it still doesn't compete with grenade launchers. No one's going to be using this for DPS over a legendary grenade launcher. Why would you put on an exotic that's going to be worse than your legendary? Like, no one's going to be using it for that case. Unless it got like something like 125% buff. 50% was not enough for it to compete with other power weapons in terms of DPS. If they added 50% to this weapon, then made the ad clear better either by increasing the ammo capacity, or maybe even increasing the blast radius, then that would be a different story. Still do truly think the play is to increase the ammo. If you still want to buff the weapon by 50%, that's fine, but it still needs more ammo. In my opinion, after this 50% buff, it still will not feel like a machine gun in any way, and it won't be as good as a grenade launcher, so once again, it won't be that useful. It's like if they made an exotic rocket launcher and took all the damage away from it, but then gave it 400 ammo, but kept it at a one magazine, it wouldn't be good for ad clear. It simply wouldn't. And if you do the same thing with machine gun, take away all the ammo and give it damage, it's not going to be very good. Unless you truly give it the damage it needs to compete with other grenade launchers, which at that point, why not just make it a grenade launcher? So I think they're trying to make this exotic machine gun too different and too unique. They doubled down on trying to make it a grenade launcher, which grenade launchers are already pretty much the best weapons in the game right now, so trying to compete with a grenade launcher on its own turf isn't very smart. So just to sum up my thoughts, I still think the best play is to find that middle ground between machine gun and grenade launcher, which they're kind of talking about, where it slid back and forth. And right now I think it's trying to slide way too far into the grenade launcher and not that middle ground. I think if it found that middle ground, it would be fine. But right now it just doesn't identify as a machine gun in almost any way. But if it had something like 70 ammo and it was kind of good for single targets still, you could use it on red bars, you could use it on majors, you know, that would actually be a worthwhile exotic. Right now if you use this weapon for ad clear, you're pretty much out of ammo in like 40 seconds. Then if you're not spamming armaments like I was in the knocker strike, you're just gonna be out of ammo for the entire strike or whatever you're doing. Anyways, I think that's all I gotta say. It was pretty much a rant. I hope you guys could follow some of the thoughts in that rant. Anyways, let me know what you think about this buff. I don't think it's gonna be enough. I don't think it'll be useful. And I honestly think it was the wrong play. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.